Welcome to Through the Table Podcast with Brian, JL, Tom, Rick, and Russ.
Big news of the week.
Go for
The
it.
fire sale continues.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Should we
Men,
list who
Women
was,
and children
released?
first.
The dumpster fire sale continues.
We can list it. Does someone have the list?
Yeah, I'll look through it right now.
Okay, I don't have a list in front of me.
So I believe this was
What is
it.
she going to do without catering? What is she going to do? She's going to fend for herself now.
Well, she had to fend for herself after the few weeks of being injured. She's still alive.
That is very true.
when she injured her hole.
Yeah. Right.
My hole. Ugh.
All
Never
right,
wanted-
so
That didn't get her over nothing.
I don't know if this is the full list.
There's 18. There should be 18 people on it.
Yeah, okay, that's a full one.
Okay.
So Jessie Kamea,
Yep.
who was pretty so she was on the NXT with the Robert Stone brand, but I don't think
They didn't do much with her.
they didn't do much with her
No.
once the 2.0 stuff started.
Right.
Well, it's always in the last place you look.
Zeta Ramier, I have no idea who that is.
Oh no. It was an NXT property. I don't know if she even was on TV or not. I have no clue.
You know what? I think wasn't she I think she was the Indian chick, like from India.
Okay. You're
she
probably
wore like
right.
the orange
yeah.
garb.
Right. Yep. That makes sense. Yeah.
Oni Lorcan,
Yep.
so which is Biff Busick on the Indie. So I'm sure Beyond Wrestling super excited that Biff will be back in
Oh, he's
30
already
days.
He's already all in Biff action now on Twitter and Instagram.
Jeet Rama, I think he was the other Indian talent. He was on 205 Live a couple times, and like stuff like that.
Was in the opener on 2.0 last week or this week.
Okay,
He wasn't with Shanky?
No, they
No.
didn't involve them together.
Shanky's
SD
still
Shanky.
there. Shanky's still there.
He
baby.
survived. He
Special
survived
delivery
another
Shanky.
round.
Good for him.
Jackson Riker, like I don't understand.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if this was because of COVID stuff, you think he would have been the first one gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Trey Baxter.
Yep.
He was who was he on the Indies? Blake Christian, I believe.
Yep. He's already advertised for the next two GCW shows in December.
That didn't
Yeah,
take
yeah.
long.
Frankie Monet. Well, I was surprised about that one.
That's the first surprise. Everybody else.
There's
so
a reason
far,
for that they've said today. We can get into that after.
Ooh.
All right.
Oh, that's a big market tease right there. It's
Nice,
Like
I
we've been
like
doing this
that.
for a few months.
Seg 2. That comes in Seg 2.
Take two. Right.
So yeah, one out of 18 so far. So
Ember Moon.
It's a surprise
not
to me.
surprised.
It's a surprise to me, but yet it's not, only because she hasn't been utilized in like 2 years.
Right.
Like, she's been on NXT and stuff, but I mean, she was pretty big when they debuted her in the main roster and leading up
She
to that in
fizzled out quick.
NXT. And then, she got hurt. That was
She
the
got hurt.
problem.
That's why. Yep.
Wasn't she one of the Nia Jax injuries?
Yes.
Of course she was.
Yep.
That big fat lummox.
Katrina Cortez, not a surprise. You know what I mean? She was just basically a jobber for the girls.
Right.
Lindsay Dorado, not really a surprise.
Well, he asked
Yeah.
for his release, and they just
Oh, he did
granted
same.
it.
Same
Him
with
and the
Metal
next
League.
one on the list.
Same with Gray Metalik. Both of them
Yeah.
asked for it like last month or a month and a half ago, and they finally just said, "All right, you guys can go."
They're going to be great feuding with the Lucha Bros and with the other Del Sol and whoever the hell is
He probably
probably.
won't be
Aerostar.
back.
No, he
No.
definitely will be back.
Oh, we'll get to that later too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, boy.
the next one on this list kind of surprises me, BFAB, just because they literally just brought her up to SmackDown and they restructured her deal last week.
Yep. Last
And
week
they made a big deal about it
Mhm.
too.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, I'm not surprised though, because she's not good in the ring, so it's
Yeah,
like
she's not very good.
Then
No,
why would
not
you
even-
re-sign her and just to
Right.
get rid of her a week later? It's just two people that don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
so after that is Scarlett and Karrion Cross.
Yep.
Kind of
Yep.
surprised.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, there's only so
We all kind
know,
of saw it when they redid that gimmick.
right. And how many times are you going to restart the same guy?
Hmm.
You know, it's obviously not going to work.
Yeah.
You know, the WWE fans don't like him. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Just, I think the only place I've ever really seen him over was like Mexico, because even Impact
In
wasn't
Mexico, he's huge. Yeah.
that.
Impact, I don't know. They didn't do a ton with him.
Yeah. Eva Marie surprised me.
Yeah, because they made such
That
a
was a
big
bit
deal
of a
about bringing her
surprise.
back.
Hmm.
Because that's
They
you know
made-
they hired her when they did the last round of layoffs or whatever.
Yep.
You know, then they brought her back just to 4 months later, 6 months later.
Yeah.
Just about.
For the dewdrop stuff.
And she's out in Hollywood again filming something, I guess now.
Porn.
Not this time. Some sort of production work. I don't know if she's in a movie or a TV show or what.
Porn?
Nope. Still not.
Brazzers.
Not yet.
Porn, right? It's got to be porn.
Nia Jax, as we mentioned already.
Yeah.
This one's surprising just because I had no idea he was signed. Harry Smith.
Yep.
I knew he was signed.
It was a surprise because you'd think that they would have thrown him out there just to see, just
He
name
worked-
him the British
Yeah.
Bulldog and
That first
You're like,
night,
hey, look.
first night that they came back to live shows, he worked the dark
Money in the
match.
Bank.
Yeah. He'll be
We're the-
great in AEW.
And then they said, all right, well, we'll tell you when we have an idea what we're going to do with you. And
They just never did
the
anything.
latest
No.
rumor was he was going to feud with Walter.
yeah,
They never did
Which would have been
apparently
great.
he was-
And then they decided to cut him. So I don't know what.
They never did anything with him the first time he was around too.
No.
Well,
So the-
apparently, he was going to be a big addition to NXT UK,
Yep.
and then he got COVID, and then they were just like, "All right," and they used him for what they wanted him for, I guess, for Davey Boy's Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But this
well, the-
past Hall of Fame was lame because it was way overproduced, and they only had like 2 minutes to talk, so it was kind of stupid.
Harry Smith will be great in the Owen Hart tournament when he faces Brian Pillman Jr.
I was going to say he has a lot of ties to
Justin
AEW. Just
Thomas.
for sure.
with, he has the the Pillman Jr. connection. He
Yep.
has the Lance Archer connection.
Hmm.
Him and Lance were what were they, the freaking Killer Elite Squad
Yep.
in New
Yep.
Japan.
Right.
So I wouldn't. He's a good addition, you know what I mean. But at the same time, like, kind of, I guess to, go back to the list. The last two were Mia Yim and Keith Lee. Like
Yeah.
I was saying before, you guys both signed on. It's like as that out of that whole list, I think Keith Lee's probably the one that you would definitely try to get, and maybe even try to get, like I was saying, just get him in a full gear somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, try to buy that on 90 days or see what they
Knowing
can
them,
do.
they probably push it off till Monday just to sign that off if they did let him out of it early. I don't think
He
they
was over,
want him to
too.
show up that quickly.
He was over. Not to interrupt, Brian. No, he
Oh, no,
he
no,
was
it's fine.
he was over. The crowd was just dying for them to do something with him.
And honestly, even the Bearcat stuff, like he was still over because they were just like, you know what? Limitless Bearcat, whatever you want to be called. At least he's on TV. At least we get to see him. You know,
Vince just didn't like him.
It's
plus he was a little injury prone.
Was he though?
I don't think so. He got COVID.
I would say he got COVID and almost died, but I don't think he was.
I think he got hurt.
I don't think he ever was hurt.
Not that I can remember.
No.
But it's like, honestly, when you had him at Survivor Series and then at the Rumble, you should have just called him up right there.
Yeah, put the rocket on him and go.
Put the friggin' rocket right on his back, and they completely missed it. Completely missed it.
Yep.
Yeah, Vince kept sending him back to the training center to work because they didn't think he knew how to work. It's like just things like that you just don't get.
But like that's you know what I mean? Why? And once again, then why'd you sign him? If you didn't think he could work, why the hell did you sign him in the first place?
Exactly.
What's the whole point? You know what I mean? Like, it's
why did they sign Eva Marie?
Yeah, well, that one totally.
She didn't even last a year.
No.
She started when we started doing this podcast. We haven't even done this for a year yet.
Right. I mean, my first answer was boobs. Was probably like my first answer. Like
that could be for Keith Lee too.
But you know, it's just I don't know. I just sometimes I feel like it's like I don't know if they just don't understand the you know the new style of working or whatever, you know what I mean? Or if it's just that they're just so stuck in the past that they don't want to see it. But that's you know what I mean? Like why do you
talking about Vince or the fans?
More like Vincent staff. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. You know, like why hire all these guys and then try to change them or try to you need to work like this. It's like, well, if you wanted him to work like that, why wouldn't you just sign somebody that already works like that?
Or while he's in NXT, get him to work that way before you bring him up to the main roster. Get him to be to where you want him to be.
But that's the thing. But why? You know what I mean? Like you signed this person for that reason. You know what I mean? Like
also,
like baseball terms, you sign this dude because he hits 50 home runs a season. You want him to be a DH. You're not going to be like, what? You know what I mean? It's
the Minnesota Twins had David Ortiz, and they wanted him to bunt all the time.
Yep.
Right. That's not what you brought him in for. Like it just makes no sense why you would. I don't know. I just nothing makes sense in the WWE right now.
Well, when it comes to Eva Marie, her first stint. The reason why they had her change her hair so drastically is because she looked like a Bella twin. And now that she's back, she's 37 years old. So that's not, it's ageism, obviously, but 37 female WWE, that's almost game over.
But she was 37 6 months ago when they signed her.
Exactly. What's the difference between 6 months ago and now? Did she age a half a year? Is this like that Simpsons episode where they're in spring break and they got the MTV VJ and like the little thing on her watch goes off because she turned like 18 and they like usher her off the stage and bring in the new young thing?
Where
was she 6 months ago?
The thing that could possibly be mentioned is that like she was brought back and then she already got that instant Karrion Kross hate. So now the fans were giving what the fans want, and they didn't want Karrion Kross. They didn't want Eva Marie, so they're gone.
Right.
So make them heels. That's what the wrestling is. You have babyface, you have heels. If the crowd hates you, you're a heel. Eva Marie could have been a top heel and could have used it. I think I know what the real issue is. I think she might be. God, I really want to use the word. I think she might be kind of a bitch backstage. I want to use a different word. Next letter down in the alphabet. I think she might be one of those backstage. I think she's got an ego problem or something. Why would you bring her back for 6 months? Oh,
Right.
the crowd didn't like her. Good. Make her a monster heel in
Mhm.
the women's division.
Yep.
But my
Problem
thing
solved.
is,
He
my
was
thing
kind
is,
of a heel because of the dewdrop stuff, though.
Yeah.
But keep going with it.
Yeah.
but my thing is you brought her back after however long she was gone. What, 5 years, something like that? I don't exactly know the amount of time, but you bring her back. You don't put her in NXT. You literally bring, like, she has no. I'm sure she didn't step in a ring that whole time she was out.
You
You know
can
what I mean?
tell
It
she
Sure didn't
know.
look like
Right.
it.
So it's just none of it made sense to begin with.
Mhm.
It just, I don't know. And once again, it's just one of those, what's the what's the reasoning behind any of this going on right now?
Right.
I mean, unless maybe she was one of the ones that didn't want to get vaccinated, apparently. But
It's possible.
Well, obviously, what we see with not long-term storylines, the WWE is week to week, and obviously, some of these people may have been liked by people that were in the office that got fired too.
could be.
So now
That's a
Possible.
valid point.
the new regime is just like whatever. Could be an age thing. Nia Jax is also 37 years old. It could be all that combined.
She's 37.
Yeah.
What did they?
Yeah.
You got to count the rings if you cut her in half.
Well,
Big fat redwood.
one of the reasons for the women's departures is that they're now looking to get people between the age of 20 and 25 in, and they're basically doing the ageism for the women because they don't want the older women around anymore. That was
Is
why
that
most
why
of
all
them
the
got cut.
women? Is that why all the women are trying to look like real dolls?
Probably.
Is that why Asuka hasn't been seen on TV in God knows how long?
She's hurt, but she's
Oh, I
also
see.
40.
She's 40. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
40.
But
yeah,
they're
but
saying
she's Asian. You can't tell with them.
they're saying that a lot of the cuts for the women
She's
were
still
made
awesome.
because they want to get
Yeah.
younger women in there.
Right. But I think even like Io's in her late 30s, I believe, right?
Like 36, 37. Yep. That's what
It's a shame they haven't brought
that's
her
what
up
Frankie
either.
was in her 38. But they're saying a lot of the women was because of age.
And yet they destroyed the push of someone who's 21 years old. What I think she's 21 or 23, Bianca Belair, and they'll keep having her lose every freaking week in title matches.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, what is she, like 0-5 or 0-6 since losing the belt
Has she
in
won?
27
like that.
seconds?
Has she won? I can't recall.
No.
Hearing
Shit.
it.
That's too
Bianca
And by
bad.
the way,
32.
as much as we crap
old?
all over, huh?
How old was
Bianca's
she?
32.
32.
I thought
could
she was
have-
in her early 20s.
Yeah,
Everything I saw was early 20s, 21 or 23.
I guess
You
not.
dyslexic?
April 9th, 1989.
No, that's what it says. I looked it up too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
So-
dyslexic.
Is that why they're pushing the? I don't know if anybody watches NXT. Unfortunately, I do.
I think you're the one.
Yeah, you are the one.
JL watches Impact and you watch NXT 2.0 for us.
So they have Cora Jade,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
literally her gimmick is she's 20 years old. That's her gimmick.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
That was that she was making out with the dude that just got fired, the Trey Baxter or whatever. That's all she does. She's 20-year-old making out with some dude on TV.
Well, that's a good severance pay. Make out and then get fired.
Right.
That's cool.
But they still have Grayson Waller, the extreme skydiving, boxing, Australian freaking asshole.
Don't forget about Madcap Moss.
He's on the main roster.
That's exactly. He's still around.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mhm.
Shanky. It's like,
And you got freaking Riker.
yeah, Jackson Riker, Rick Boogs. Get him
He-
off my TV.
But Books does a great guitar. You can't get rid of that.
Because that's what everyone wants to see when we go to a wrestling show. guitar solos.
Yep.
especially on a house show.
Next time I go to a concert, I'm just gonna start yelling like super kick. Joe-
What should we bring up about Frankie Monet?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes. The big marketees, Frankie Monet.
Ryan doesn't remember.
No, I said it. They were.
Oh, is
they
that
were
what it was?
cutting-
The-
they were wanting to get rid
because
of
she
the
was
older
37?
ladies for people that are 20 to 25. That's who they want all the women to be in the age range now. They say they have too many that are 35 plus, so they decided to cut a bunch.
But it's funny because
There was
then you
no
have
other.
like,
There's no other reason but age on this one. There
That's
really
wild.
isn't.
Can I say that Nia Jax being 37, she looks terrible for her age.
Good or bad?
Just terrible for it. She doesn't look a day over 60.
60.
Wow.
That's a little much.
Well, I'm talking about a cholesterol level.
And the other ones they were saying, they said that Oni Lorcan, they didn't see any main event or even main roster material with him, so that's why they get rid of him.
I mean, I could see that.
24/7 title guy.
And then Trey Baxter, they considered too small.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
can
only
see that.
reason.
Honestly, I was surprised Oni Lorcan lasted as long
this
as he
yeah.
did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a good 6 years?
At
6
least
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I went to his last
funny
show
on
on the
Twitter.
Indies.
He was funny online, so that kind of kept him
With
around.
the long fingers.
Oh yeah. No, I went to his last Beyond show.
Well, him and what? Danny Burch was a pretty good tag team in NXT.
They were all right. Yeah, they were
But
tag
then
champs and stuff.
Either one would get hurt.
Thing.
Yeah, one
Right.
guy would get hurt, and then the other guy would just sit out until the other guy came back, and then they just stopped using them after a while.
Right. But yeah, I just even like Oni Lorcan getting the tag belts.
Mhm.
Like, you got to say grace at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there's nothing.
sure.
Like, I was surprised he even got that far.
Mhm.
Which is, I mean, no knock on him. I think he's a
sure.
good wrestler, but
Yeah.
he was awesome main eventing the Fat Music Hall, but WrestleMania not so much.
Sure. And then, as I was telling you before they signed on about that new chief financial officer there that they hired,
Yep.
where his base salary is $850,000. He has a $1 million cash signing bonus if he stays around for 2 years, and then he also got $5 million in stock.
Who is this?
The new CFO that they just promoted today. But I guess if he knew about it last Wednesday and didn't say anything, because I guess that's when he actually signed the paperwork. His name's
The person he replaced was on the call.
Riddick. Frank Riddick. Yep. I guess they knew about it last week. They didn't tell her until after the call.
Old.
Apparently no one liked her, but that's not the point. So
That is cold.
he's getting $2 million or so in salary and $5 million in stock, but they're saying budget cuts for everybody else. Something doesn't add up.
And they reported what 255.8 million for quarter three.
Right.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. But they give all this out to one of the high guys and they cut all the roster saying budget cuts. It's like you can't do one thing and do the other. It doesn't make any sense.
Now I understand why, because apparently my sources tell me that Karrion Kross's helmet was $255.9 million. So that's why they got rid of him.
He didn't like it.
He didn't like it at all. Nobody.
No, nobody wants.
No.
Is what he said.
Right.
He's not wrong.
Nope.
No.
Demolition might want it.
No, that one sucks compared to Demolition.
And they were also had the rumor out there that they were going to get rid of a lot more people that weren't being used and they had no storylines for, but they decided that cutting 50 people wouldn't look that great right after the conference call.
So
But
we'll just
18
cut that in
but
half.
18's okay.
18's fine.
AT's just fine.
I guess the list had
Magical
over
number.
50 people on it that they were going to
Jesus
cut.
Christ.
Yep.
I wish there was like another billionaire to start like a number 3 company right now.
There is,
Like-
but they just haven't decided yet.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Mhm. You got enough talent for it.
Tons of talent. There's so much talent right now.
Mhm.
It's
There could be a one-off pay-per-view called Released.
Yeah.
Joey Janela and Fuego del Sol are shaking in their boots right now. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.